Hey Pisces, welcome to Unseen Hands Healing. Amanda here with your mid-June 2019 check-in. I'm using the Next World Tarot here. As some of you may have seen in my Gemini new moon video, I'm really feeling like this moon cycle is calling in a whole new world for many of us. So I felt drawn to this Next World Tarot to talk about that today for each of the signs. Please watch for your sun, moon, and rising sign. If this isn't resonating with you, check one of the other signs for a different vibe. And by the way, I have a special guest, Coconut, in the background here. I'm dog sitting for the week. So we've got extra special dog loyalty energy in this reading, which actually showed up for you, which is really interesting. So we're going to start off here. We've got the Seven of Cups, the Moon, and Death. All right. Here's the Seven of Cups card in the Next World Tarot. The word here at the bottom is imagination. Venus in Scorpio. So the energy that I felt from the Seven of Cups as soon as I pulled it, I'm really drawn to this person's eyes. So I want you to take a look here. There's an element of suspicion. The Seven of Cups is often a card of having so many options, so many thoughts swirling around in your head that it can be overwhelming. This card, the Seven of Cups, is evoking imagination, because while having all of those options can be very overwhelming and put you in a place of not knowing what to do, the Seven of Cups can also offer you a lot of options, and it can feel like you have the capacity to imagine so much. And I'm definitely feeling that with this card. There's a giant fish here, okay, very Pisces energy, and a giant diamond. This look of suspicion on her face immediately jumped out to me. With this card, I had a lot of questions come up, and classic to the Seven of Cups, confusion as well. I felt confused. Are all of these things in my imagination helping me? Are all of these things in my imagination just illusion? Are they adding to a sense of confusion that I don't need to have? So there is a sort of questioning, and I think the call with this card is just to back up a little bit and take the point of view that this person in the card is taking, which is just like, okay, hold on. Let me look at all of these cups that I've got out here and all of these different options and evaluate it from a place of healthy scrutiny. Just to take a look at that and see, okay, what are all of these things in play in my mind, in my imagination? Because I think this is about sussing out what's real and what's not. That's what it feels like. Okay, what has roots in reality here and what does not? You know, I often struggle with the my personal struggle with the Seven of Cups is one of trying to suss out what illusion actually means and when I am in illusion or not. It's hard for me to tell sometimes. And I think that's a very Piscean struggle for a lot of you. So I think this is about understanding that, and this is a revelation that has come to me recently regarding illusion, things that are rooted in fear and pain are illusion. The things that keep us stuck in fear, that can be the metric, the test for whether or not we are in illusion. I think a lot of the time it can feel like fantasy and illusion get lumped into one another, but I see them as separate things. There's something to having a fantasy and going into fantasy land about your life, which I'm sure many Pisces can relate to that, but that's different for me than illusion. Illusion is more connected to belief systems that are so inherent to me that I don't even realize I'm falling under them. And that is usually limiting belief systems when it comes to fear or pain, beliefs that something should feel bad or that pain is the norm, for example, is one of my personal illusions, that pain is a normal or pain is a baseline given of life. I have found that to be an illusion that I fall under quite a lot. So just to give you an example of what I'm talking about here with the Seven of Cups, sussing out real versus not real energy. And this is continued on here with the Moon card. Right. This is Cancer energy. Mercury has just moved into Cancer, so it makes sense that this energy is coming out for you. And I often associate the moon energy with Pisces as well. This is water energy for sure. And like I said with the dog, loyal companion energy is coming out here with this dog in the bottom. I was really drawn to the fact that in this card, there's a dog in the foreground and a lobster as well. And there's a bird on this person's knee. Both the bird and the person are looking up to the sky. It feels like they're looking up to the sky for guidance. Birds represent spirit to me. So here you are in the dark of the night, maybe in the dark of not being able to see clearly what's real, what's not. And while you're in this space, which is a very internal, intuitive space, you and your spirit are just sort of looking up here for divine guidance. Where's the divine guidance on this? It's almost like looking up to your higher self. And I get the sense that once you get the clarity that you are seeking, once you kind of get the go-ahead from spirit, from your higher self, then you're going to look down at this pup and at the lobster, but really at this pup and say, okay, I know what to do. Let's go. And this dog is waiting for you. So I'm picking up on, and this could be somebody in particular or a group of you that I'm picking up on. For someone in particular, the people in your life that are really loyal to you and the people in your life that are your solid companions, your friends, your loved ones, the people that are by your side day and night, it's like that person or those people are sort of waiting for you. They're looking up to you saying, do you have the answer yet? Can we go yet? Do you know which way to go? And you and your spirit are like, hold on, I'm in the moon time. I'm looking up for guidance. I'm not sure yet. Which makes sense also for Mercury in Cancer. This can be sort of a wishy-washy energy in terms of not knowing how to take action and how to affect others, verbally or otherwise, in the world. because you need to drop into an emotional space. That's the call with Mercury in Cancer, is to drop into that emotional space. So if with the Seven of Cups, you're kind of finding yourself with a lot of things swirling, the call here is take a step back. Put all of those things outside of you for a second so that you can see them, or maybe just get them out, get all of those questions out of your sphere, and drop down into your emotional place. Drop into your emotional well. Let yourself not know the answer. Close your eyes and look to this eye here. Look to that third eye. Let your spirit look up for the answer. It will come to you. And we have the Death card. Another sort of similar energy of like an animal looking up at a person here. This is Scorpio energy. Another water sign coming through. And this is very much Mars energy as well. So we have a lot of watery things happening with the planets, and that is deeply affecting you here, Pisces. In this Death card, so for those of you that may be new to the tarot, death does not mean literal death. It means transformation. It means something. You can see that there are skulls rotting here in the foreground. Something needs to rot before you can move forward. This person's on a horse. They want to go somewhere. They're ready to go. But these things need to leave behind what needs to compost before they can move forward. So death energy, like the Seven of Cups and the Moon, this is still energy. This is stillness. This is not necessarily moving forward. This is a time of deep transformation, internal transformation before you can move forward. I think this is deeply emotional for y'all here. I'm drawn to the rat that's looking up at this person. And I felt like the rat was trying to speak and say that, you know, this is such a hated creature typically. We are afraid of rats, many of us. We find them disgusting. They carry disease. We're grossed out by them. But what the rat was trying to tell you here, Pisces, is that rats are incredibly useful, and they have this really special gift, I want to say, of being able to eat trash. I know that sounds really gross, but it's true. Rats eat trash. They take the waste that needs to be disposed of here in the Death card, and they can transmute it into something else. They can find food in that. So there's a message here about composting. There's a message here about sussing out what's real and what's not, really listening to your higher self and divine guidance on that, and being willing to be in a place that feels messy, that feels emotionally messy and feels like you don't have the answers. And then trust that that clarity will come. And when it does, you will know what's real and what's not. You can take what's real to you, what's true to your heart, you can take that with you along the way. And what is not can compost here. Leave that as an offering for the rat, and trust that the rat is going to take that and digest it how it needs to be digested. Okay. I want to take a card from this Octospalman podcast deck. This is a very sarcastic deck. It's very fun. And it's a bit dark as well, so I think it's going to fit with this, with the spirit of your reading here. Let's see what Octaspaman has to offer you, Pisces, for mid-June 2019. What's the message for Pisces, mid-June 2019? All right, what do we got? We got 2 messages here. Yeah. The sense of humor in this deck is amazing. Nightmares are dreams too. And don't kiss knives. Don't kiss knives. All right, so the guidance that I'm feeling here with this. Nightmares are dreams too. The rat, again, is speaking. Nightmares are dreams too. Whatever you find in this land of your imagination, whatever you find to be illusion that can feel like a nightmare maybe, or like you're waking, when you realize illusion, it's like you awaken up out of a nightmare that you have been in, that you realize is just an illusion that you were really falling prey to. And so coming up out of that, recognize nightmares are dreams too. All right, whatever is here for you in this time of maybe a dark night of the soul, or a deep transformation process, whatever is here for you that feels like a nightmare, nightmares are dreams too. Nightmares are perhaps the most potent dreams that really lead you down into yourself and help you to awaken the things that are just skulls that you're carrying around that need to be left in order to help you move forward. I find that nightmares are some of the most potent dreams to help with that forward momentum. And then don't kiss knives. This is a bit of a nasty image here. This person just like with the knife in their mouth. It reminds me of that tale of the wolf, again with the dog imagery here for y'all. Very interesting. Maybe it's just because I got this pup back here infiltrating my brain. But the wolf that licked the knife and tasted its own blood and became thirstier and thirstier and thirstier, so they kept licking and they kept bleeding as a result. Whatever you find in this place of 7 of Cups in the moon that is illusion, that is perhaps doing more harm than good for you, don't keep kissing that. Don't keep kissing that knife. Right? And I don't feel that, for some of you, this might be a person that we're talking about. I don't really feel that. I'm feeling more that it is, don't keep kissing the mental knives. Don't keep kissing those mental processes, and keep indulging in those same mental loops for you. I think this is a real moment of awakening and transformation of your mental, emotional processing. And it might feel like a nightmare while you're in it. Lean into it. Lean into that. Allow yourself to go down into those depths that feel really scary, because that is where there's gifts for you. And it's really the only way. I'm getting this image of you just like pulling a huge decomposing skull up out of your body, all right? Sorry that's graphic, but that's what I'm getting, is just like you need to reach down there and just pull it out once and for all. And it's also interesting here that in this card, this person is hugging a skeleton. So it's almost like once you pull those skulls out, and a little Hamlet imagery for you here, right? I used to be a theater major. So you pull that skull up out of yourself and you look at it again, the scrutiny with the 7 of Cups that I'm seeing. pulling that skull out and looking at it for what it truly is. And then it's almost like taking that skeleton that you've carried for so long, that skeleton in your closet, and holding it to yourself, appreciating it for what it is, for why it's been inside of you. This is shadow work we're talking about here. This is what it means when people say shadow work. It's really just like pulling those skeletons, those skulls up out of yourself, looking at them, appreciating them for being a part of you, for being just as much a part of you as the things that you would more readily present yourself as or more readily share. So appreciating it for what it is and how it is still a part of you, and then take what needs to compost and let it go. Let it go so that you can move forward with your loyal companions. That might be a very specific message for somebody, but there's something here about this loyal companion that is waiting for you in this process. And they are very patient. They will keep waiting. So give yourself the time you need to really go through this. Thank you, Pisces, for joining me with your mid-month check-in here in the middle of June. If you need a reminder, go back to the June monthly video for Pisces to remind yourself of what the overall energy is for the month and how this may apply within that. I am going to take an extended reading here. I think there's a lot to unpack within this. So if you would like to dive into this deeper, go ahead and click the link below, and that will take you to Vimeo, where you can see your options for purchasing an extended reading. It's going to be taking lots of clarifying cards on each of these three main energies here, and potentially taking any other oracle messages that you may need. So thanks for joining me, Pisces. Take care. See you in July.